In the world, there are several places deemed absolutely off-limits to outsiders with intentions to access or even explore, some of which are unknown to the general public altogether. North Sentinel Island, India, home to one of the most primitive human tribes on the planet. In this age of information explosion, it seems we can know a lot with just a phone or computer. Whether it's the distant planets or the depths of the ocean, human exploration and discovery seem boundless. However, there remains one place on Earth that eludes our exploration. That is North Sentinel Island, a small island nestled within the Andaman Islands in the Bay of Bengal, belonging to India. Its area is approximately 60 square kilometers, yet the entire island is shrouded in dense virgin forest, making it impossible to see inside North Sentinel Island even with reconnaissance aircraft or satellites. Since the discovery of this small island until now, what lies within remains unknown. The primary reason for this is the presence of a tribe known as the Sentinelese inhabiting the island. They have minimal contact with the outside world and reject the influence of any modern civilization that appears on their island. These indigenous people display extreme hostility towards outsiders and have repeatedly attacked those attempting to approach the island with arrows and stones. It is said that no one who has set foot on this island has ever returned. Isolated from the outside world for an extended period, the Sentinelese have retained a very primitive culture and genetic makeup. Although geographically situated in South Asia, their physical appearance resembles that of Africans. According to some scientists' speculation, they may represent a branch left by early Homo sapiens during their migration from Africa to Asia and Australia. At that time, sea levels were lower, and coastlines extended, allowing early Homo sapiens to walk to Asia along the coastlines, with a group settling on this island. However, over time, due to rising sea levels, this group became isolated on the island, where they have lived for at least 60,000 years. If not accidentally discovered, humanity would never have imagined that such a place existed on Earth in modern society. In the mid-19th century, the Industrial Revolution led to significant economic growth, making Britain the world's maritime superpower. By opening new trade routes, they expanded their dominion to nearly half the globe, including India under their colonial rule. They established an organization called the East India Company and transported wealth back to Britain via sea routes. In 1867, a freighter of the East India Company had just arrived in the Bay of Bengal when it was suddenly hit by a fierce storm. The crew had barely time to react before the ship capsized in the tempest. Over 100 people aboard the ship scrambled into the sea in search of survival. After struggling for a while, they inadvertently swam to North Sentinel Island. The beauty of this small island made them forget the misfortune caused by the shipwreck. According to British tradition, any small island they found would become a British territory. Moreover, this island appeared inhabited, with plenty of fruit-bearing trees. Armed with state-of-the-art weapons, they believed the islanders would soon become their slaves, as had happened with the indigenous people on other islands they had encountered before. However, their plan soon fell apart. Wooden arrows rained down from above like hail, and a group of dark-skinned, naked people stared at them fiercely. Despite most of the crew having firearms, they struggled to defend against the attacks. They fought and retreated, but within 3 days, the dwindling number of surviving British people became increasingly tense, nearly collapsing. On the morning of the fourth day, an American cargo plane passing by heard gunshots and rescued the remaining British sailors. This incident later sparked curiosity about the mysterious island. The most famous event in this series occurred on November 15, 2018, when an American missionary, John Joe Chow, ventured to North Sentinel Island in an attempt to spread the Christian faith to the Sentinelese people. Initially, he hired some local fishermen to take him to a fishing boat not far from the shore, then approached the island by kayak. When he first approached the island, he was warned by the indigenous people, who shot arrows at him. John Joe Chow then had to return to the fishing boat, and the next day, he paddled his kayak back to the island, this time not returning. The fishermen witnessed him being shot with arrows by the Sentinelese people and his body being dragged onto the beach. They panicked and fled the scene, reporting the incident to local police. Indian authorities then launched an investigation and arrested 7 fishermen suspected of aiding Joe's unauthorized landing on the island. However, due to the inability to communicate with the Sentinelese people and access the island, the police were unable to retrieve Joe's body, and his death sparked widespread interest and discussion internationally. All major media outlets reported on the incident, and only then did many people become aware of such a place in the world. Some felt sorry for Joe's death, and there was much debate demanding punishment for the Sentinelese people, with India taking swift action. However, this approach was very different from what people imagined. In late November of the same year, India announced to the world that the killing of Joe was his own fault, and he had violated Indian law by entering North Sentinel Island without permission. The Indian government believed that the Sentinelese people are one of the most primitive human races on Earth, and they have the right to maintain their own way of life and beliefs without being changed or intervened by force. However, there are also those who have a different view of the Sentinelese people. They believe that as humans, the Sentinelese people should enjoy the benefits and progress brought about by modern civilization instead of continuing to live in backwardness and poverty. They believe that the Indian government should take steps to gradually establish communication and trust with the Sentinelese people, allowing them to receive basic services such as education and healthcare, while improving their quality of life and happiness. They believe that doing so is not only caring for and helping the Sentinelese people but also contributing to and promoting human civilization. These two perspectives have their own reasons and bases, as well as their own shortcomings and risks. We cannot judge which perspective is right or wrong, nor can we predict what changes or outcomes will occur in the future. Menwith Hill, English. In some rare photographs capturing scenes at Menwith Hill, also known as Royal Air Force Menwith, IFM, in the UK, the area resembles a sci-fi movie setting with a large number of domed buildings resembling golf balls arranged closely together on the hill. The common feature of these buildings is their white dome roofs and enclosed structures, making it impossible to observe what's inside. The peculiar shape is not the only mystery surrounding this place. RAFM has been operational since 1954, operated by the British Ministry of War. The area played a crucial role during the Cold War era, serving as a facility to monitor activities from the Soviet Union. However, the work of the 1,205 personnel under these white domes remains shrouded in mystery. According to many rumors, IFM is the world's largest electronic surveillance station, gathering intelligence for both the UK and the US. IFM is also believed to have close ties to Echelon, a global spy system known as Five Eyes, involving the participation of the US, UK, Australia, Canada, and New Zealand. Echelon was established in the late 1960s to monitor communications between the Soviet bloc and Eastern Bloc countries during the Cold War. A doctorate holder once claimed in 2012 that those working in this area participate in drone attacks, though this has never been confirmed. Seed Vault for Doomsday, Norway. More than 960 kilometers from the North Pole, on Spitsbergen Island, part of Norway's Svalbard archipelago, an area equivalent to the U.S. state of West Virginia, deep within a mountain is where over 1 million samples of seeds from 6,374 crop species harvested from 249 locations around the world are stored. This is the Svalbard Global Seed Vault. This gigantic seed collection serves as a safeguard for plant genetic diversity to ensure food security for the world. In the event of the extinction of a plant species due to a catastrophe, seeds from the vault can be used to restore that species. If pests, diseases, or climate change threaten food sources, a particular trait within the collection can mitigate the risk. While most countries have their own seed banks, such as the US storing seeds at a facility at Colorado State University, Svalbard serves as a backup option. The vault, built in 2008 at a cost of around $9 million, is owned and managed by Norway, with the seeds contributed by various countries and territories. The vault is like a safe deposit box at the bank, said Kay Fowler, an American agriculturalist who helped build Svalbard, to the Wall Street Journal. Norway owns the facility, not the individual seed boxes. Currently, only one party has the right to withdraw seeds from the vault. In 2015, after the International Center for Agricultural Research in the Dry Areas, ICARDA, was destroyed in the Syrian civil war, scientists fleeing the Middle Eastern country requested seeds from Svalbard to regrow in Lebanon and Morocco. Svalbard hosts one of the largest and best collections in the world of wheat, barley, lentils, chickpeas, faba beans, and grass pea, Fowler said. Svalbard is the primary source of a disease-resistant wheat variety for the Middle East. In 2017, ICARDA returned the seed samples to the vault. Svalbard spans over 1,700 square meters, comprising 3 rooms with a maximum capacity of 4.5 million samples, each sample containing 500 seeds, totaling 2.25 billion seeds. The natural temperature inside the facility remains below 0 degrees Celsius year-round, but the seeds are stored even colder, at -18 degrees Celsius. Seeds can be preserved for decades, centuries, or even millennia. Parsnip seeds have the shortest shelf life, about 50 to 75 years. Based on experimental results, barley seeds can survive for over 19,000 years. This number for rice, wheat, or beans is several thousand years, Fowler noted. In fact, when parties replenish their seed vaults, they also send new seed samples to Svalbard. Most seeds in the vault are not the varieties farmers want to grow, Fowler added. He calls them orphan seeds. If the goal is to preserve the diversity of dog breeds, and your backyard has a poodle and your neighbor has a mixed breed dog, which sample will protect more diversity? Farmers might not want to grow orphan seeds, but in dire situations, these non-purebred seeds possess traits that can rescue purebred seeds. This happened in the 1960s when Jack Harlan, a passionate plant geneticist, preserved an unwanted hybrid wheat variety for 15 years. This hybrid was later used to thwart the stem rust epidemic threatening American wheat. Harlan described the hybrid wheat as fragile and unsuitable for making bread, largely overlooked until its resistance to 4 strains of stem rust, 35 common leaf-eating insect strains, 10 short-horned grasshopper strains, and high tolerance to black rust, powdery mildew, and numerous fungal strains attacking wheat were discovered. Now, every wheat variety carries those traits in their genes, Fowler said. The decline in biodiversity is not an imminent threat. For chemical companies control over 60% of the global seed sales, including many cotton, corn, soybean, and canola varieties, according to Philip H. Howard, an associate professor at Michigan State University who tracks changes in the seed industry structure. Such power concentration raises concerns that it might lead to agricultural uniformity and increased genetic homogeneity. The long-term question is, with very little competition, will companies reduce their research efforts, said James McDonald, a research professor at the University of Maryland, former USDA economist. If I have 50% market share, a competitor has the remaining 50%, and I develop a new seed line, this seed line would take away the market share from both me and the competitor. Therefore, there's not much incentive to invest. But the seed industry doesn't share these concerns. A plethora of new varieties are released to the market every year under various names, said Andy Lavine, President and CEO of the American Seed Trade Association. The essence of the seed industry is diversity, new varieties. If you're not innovative, someone else will be. It's too early to conclude what's about to happen, but for now, Svalbard continues to accept seed samples to support efforts to conserve all possible options. I can't predict what people will need in the future. My life is about protecting plant varieties, Fowler said. The Padmanabhaswamy Temple and the secret behind the treasure vault door. The Padmanabhaswamy Temple is one of the most sacred sites and popular tourist attractions in India. However, within the temple lies a heavily guarded chamber. Surrounding this chamber are rumors, legends, and tales related to what is believed to be a hidden treasure, concealed behind thick walls. The Padmanabhaswamy Temple is one of the 108 Divya Desams, dedicated to Lord Vishnu, one of the 3 supreme deities of Hinduism. Its first recorded mention dates back to ancient Tamil scriptures, dating from the 6th century. The temple was renovated in the 16th century. Its name is derived from the word Padmanabha, meaning the one with a lotus in the navel. Currently, the temple is managed by the Travancore royal family, with a long-standing relationship dating back to 1729. The assets within the temple belong to Lord Padmanabhaswamy and the Travancore royal family. Recent events have cast doubt on the trustworthiness of the aforementioned royal family. The Supreme Court of India issued a final ruling, revealing for the first time the treasures hidden within the Padmanabhaswamy Temple, along with unresolved mysteries. In 2011, Sundararajan filed a lawsuit in the Supreme Court, alleging mismanagement of the assets belonging to the Padmanabhaswamy Temple by the Travancore royal family. In 2016, the court appointed a team of 7 individuals to explore the temple complex and document all the existing assets. They were astonished to discover 6 secret vaults containing treasures of the temple. The vault doors were made of iron and could hardly be called doors, as they lacked locks, latches, or any conventional means of opening. This heightened public curiosity about what lay behind these imposing doors. They found various treasures including gold, gemstones, luxurious ceremonial attire, and even golden coconut shells adorned with precious stones. One of the most notable discoveries was giant diamonds, some weighing over 100 carats. Many archaeologists and gemstone experts estimated that even a small golden statue of Lord Vishnu could be worth up to $30 million. Visitors to the temple area would notice armed guards stationed everywhere, 200 guards with machine guns stationed within the temple, security cameras covering every corner, and metal detectors at the entrances and exits. High-level security measures were deployed to protect the immense wealth. However, it seemed they were also guarding something else, something the authorities were reluctant to reveal. As mentioned earlier, the Padmanabhaswamy Temple has a total of 6 treasure vaults, named from Vault A to Vault F. The team tasked with documenting the assets in the vaults only managed to open 5 vaults, facing numerous challenges. According to their report, they were able to open and close Vaults C and F multiple times over the years, with frequent access to these vaults. Vault A took much longer to open, mainly due to the complex structure of its entrance. With modern technology, it took nearly a day to open Vault A. It took a considerable amount of time to penetrate the interiors, but they stopped at the 5th vault. One vault remained tightly sealed until now. In fact, Vault B was not within the scope of their survey. No one knows what lies behind its thick door, or what secrets its impenetrable walls hold. Speculations abound, suggesting that the nature of Vault B is already mystical, filled with divine statues and mysterious origins. Rumors suggest that its walls are made of solid gold, containing countless unseen treasures. Imaginations run wild. So far, only the outline of the vault door is visible, 2 giant serpents on either side of the door. Furthermore, the vault door lacks any other opening mechanism, no bolts, no bars. It's essentially impassable. Surprisingly, Vault B has 3 layers of doors. The first door is an iron grille, visible to the naked eye, and opens normally. Behind it is a wooden door, opening to reveal another tightly sealed iron door. There's no way past this door. People once again speculate, any attempt to open any of these doors will bring disaster upon the city, perhaps even to all of India or the entire globe. In Hinduism, the concept of reincarnation teaches that death opens a new life for the soul, in a different form. The legend of Vault B is similar. It emerged when the survey team of 7 encountered misfortunes. It could be coincidence, or it could be something more. Some members of the survey team fell ill while attempting to open Vault B. The mother of one of the 7 died during the survey. Sundararajan, who filed the lawsuit seeking to revalue the temple's assets, died a few years after the court's decision. There's almost no evidence linking the deaths and mishaps to Vault B, but speculation continues. One theory revolves around the Hope Diamond, believed to bring misfortune to anyone who owns it. This is just one of the many explanations offered by locals. Legend has it that when Marthanda Varma of the Travancore royal family constructed the 6 treasure vaults, Vault B was reinforced with spells, only accessible to skilled priests. Some believe in miracles, suggesting that beneath the treasure chambers lies a secret passage for moving items in and out. Whoever discovers this passage could access the immense wealth hidden within Vault B. Regardless of what lies inside, the Supreme Court of India has declared Vault B off-limits. They base this on the belief that opening it would tamper with the Naga Bandham, guarding Vault B. Naga Bandham is said to be an energy-protecting Vault B, also known as the magical snake-binding spell. When a space is consecrated within a temple, it becomes protected by divine serpents. This is partly why visitors often see numerous snake deities in India. Within the Padmanabhaswamy Temple compound, there's even a dedicated area for snake deities. It is said that the Naga Bandham at Vault B will be broken by a special sound wave, emitted when reciting the Garuda mantra. Rumor has it that the mechanism of the door revolves around sound, and when recited correctly, the door will open. The ban on opening Vault B by the Supreme Court remains in effect, and no one dares to perform the Garuda mantra for fear of legal and spiritual consequences. Nobody knows what treasures lie within Vault B. Will we ever find out, or will it remain humanity's eternal secret? The secret passage of the Egyptian hallway. There are several reasons why ancient relics like the Sphinx in Egypt are never allowed to be excavated and dissected, no matter how significant their historical value may be. Archaeologists never touch a layer of architecture hidden beneath this colossal statue, known as the secret passage. This mysterious area was first discovered by archaeologists in Tutankhamun's tomb, where they noticed some large caves, seemingly natural, lying directly beneath the Sphinx. To prevent those who seek to investigate this area to prove its existence, archaeologists and the Egyptian government have prevented any investigations and searches regarding the Sphinx statue. Whether it exists or not, perhaps we will never know.